Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to calculate temporary and permanent hardness which is present in your water sample. Before calculating temporary and permanent hardness, first of all you have to identify which salt is responsible for temporary hardness and which salt is responsible for permanent hardness. As per definition in the standard textbook, they say carbonate and bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium will cause temporary hardness, and chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium will cause permanent hardness in water. But for your convenience, I have given this table which will clarify how to identify this temporary and permanent hardness in a much better way. This table is much more convenient way to identify temporary hardness and permanent hardness. For identifying temporary and permanent hardness, first you see which are cationic part and which are anionic part in a salt. We know in a salt there are two parts, one is cationic part and another is anionic part. Either temporary or permanent hardness. Both will contain calcium and magnesium as the cationic part. So basically the cationic part present in your salt will not decide whether the hardness is temporary or permanent, because the salt can be calcium and magnesium for temporary hardness, and that salt can be calcium or magnesium for permanent hardness. So you cannot decide temporary and permanent hardness depending on the cation present in your salt. Now look into the other counterpart of the salt. That means the anionic part. You have to focus on anionic part to decide whether the hardness is temporary or permanent hardness. The simple logical way to decide temporary and permanent hardness is, if the anion is carbonate or bicarbonate, then it is temporary hardness. If the anion in the salt is something else other than carbonate and bicarbonate, then it will cause permanent hardness in your water. So basically, you cannot decide temporary and permanent hardness from your cation, but you have to decide based on your anion. If the anion is carbonate or bicarbonate, then it is temporary hardness. If the anion is anything else other than carbonate, bicarbonate, I am not specifically telling any particular anion, but I am telling any anion other than carbonate and bicarbonate will cause permanent hardness in water. So that anion can be chloride, sulfate, nitrate, bromide, iodide, anything. As long as it is a calcium and magnesium salts other than carbonate and bicarbonate, it will cause permanent hardness in your water sample. Now, here I have given another way of defining temporary and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is the one which can easily be removed simply by boiling and filtering the water. As it can easily be removed by a simple boiling and filtration method, that is why this hardness is termed as temporary hardness, because it is really temporary and it can easily be removed. On the other hand, permanent hardness is the hardness which cannot be removed easily simply by boiling and filtration. Rather, you have to perform some complicated chemical treatment method to remove that hardness. Then I will call that hardness permanent hardness. So you can define temporary and permanent hardness in two different ways. One way of telling temporary hardness is carbonate and bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium will cause temporary hardness. Another way of defining temporary hardness is the hardness which can easily be removed simply by boiling and filtration is called temporary hardness. Similarly, permanent hardness can also be defined by two different ways, that other than carbonate and bicarbonate, any other anion can combine with calcium and magnesium to cause permanent hardness, or the hardness which cannot be removed simply by boiling and filtration, which need to be removed by some complicated chemical treatment method, I will call them permanent hardness. So by now you can easily identify which salt will give you temporary hardness and which salt will give you permanent hardness just by focusing on anionic part present in your salt. Anionic part carbonate bicarbonate, it's temporary. Anionic part something else other than carbonate bicarbonate is called permanent hardness. Now here comes our another objective, how to express this hardness. The universal unit of expressing hardness is ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent or milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent. Remember, ppm and milligram per liter is exactly same thing. 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per liter. So either you can call ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent or milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent. They are exactly same thing. Whenever the question paper will tell you, I am having certain amount of a salt, express this in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent in ppm or calcium carbonate equivalent in milligram per liter. This is the simple formula you have to apply. The formula is you take the amount of the salt in milligram per liter. Usually in your question paper they will express this amount of the salt in milligram per liter. Multiply this amount with a figure of 100. So amount multiply by 100. Now, divide that result with the molecular weight of that salt which is causing hardness. That will give you the final hardness in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. For example, if I will tell you 3.2 milligram per liter of calcium sulfate, express this in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. First, you take this amount of calcium sulfate 3.2 multiply by 100, divide that with the molecular weight of calcium sulfate. Simply that will convert your hardness in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. For your general knowledge, I will tell that actually this 100 figure is coming from the molecular weight of calcium carbonate. As we are expressing everything in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent, that is why this 100 figure came into this formula. Here I am giving you another numerical for your better understanding. Calculate the temporary and permanent hardness present in a water sample containing magnesium bicarbonate 22 milligram per liter, calcium bicarbonate 11.2 milligram per liter, magnesium chloride 7.5 milligram per liter, and calcium sulfate 1.2 milligram per liter. Your first job is to identify which salt will cause temporary hardness and which salt will cause permanent hardness in water. How to identify? See, I told you, your cationic part in the salt cannot decide temporary and permanent hardness. You have to focus on anionic part present in your salt. So which are the anionic part? Here the anionic part is bicarbonate. It will cause temporary hardness. Because remember my trick, carbonate and bicarbonate anion will cause temporary hardness. Here also anion is bicarbonate, it will cause temporary hardness. Here the anion is chloride, something else other than carbonate bicarbonate. The anion is not carbonate and bicarbonate. So this will cause permanent hardness. Here the anion is sulfate. So again the anion is something else other than carbonate bicarbonate. So again this will cause the permanent hardness. So out of these four salt, magnesium bicarbonate, calcium bicarbonate will cause temporary hardness. Magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate will cause permanent hardness. Now your job will be converting each of these in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. These 22 milligram per liter, 11.2, 7.5, 1.2 are not yet in ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. You have to convert them into ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. How to convert? Take the amount 22, multiply by 100, divide by molecular weight of magnesium bicarbonate. That will convert in ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. 11.2 multiply by 100 divided by molecular weight of calcium bicarbonate, that will be the ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. 7.5 multiplied by 100 divided by molecular weight of magnesium chloride will give you ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. 1.2 multiplied by 100 divided by molecular weight of calcium sulfate will give you ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. Now, in the question paper, if they are asking total temporary hardness, you take the figure of temporary hardness coming from magnesium bicarbonate, take the figure of temporary hardness coming from calcium bicarbonate. Simply summation of these two figures will cause total temporary hardness present in your water. Similarly, take the figure of permanent hardness coming from magnesium chloride, take the figure of permanent hardness coming from calcium sulfate. Summation of these two will be giving you total permanent hardness. But again, I'm giving you a reminder, do not simply add this amount which is given in your question paper, because these are not in the unit of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. Your first job is to identify which are temporary hardness, which are permanent hardness. Second job is to convert each one of them into ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. Third job is combining all the amount of temporary hardness and all the amount of permanent hardness. If you want to know total hardness of your water, simply you add total temporary hardness plus total permanent hardness. That will give you the total figure of total hardness present in your water. Here I have solved one numerical for you. What is the temporary and permanent hardness, total hardness present in your water sample of 1 liter containing 12.2 milligram of calcium bicarbonate and 5.6 milligram of magnesium sulfate? Remember, what is your first job? Identify which salt is giving you temporary hardness and which salt is giving you permanent hardness. Here, the anionic part in the salt is bicarbonate, so it will give you temporary hardness. Anionic part in the salt is sulfate, something else other than carbonate, bicarbonate. So magnesium sulfate will give you permanent hardness. So right now I know calcium bicarbonate is giving me temporary hardness, magnesium sulfate is giving me permanent hardness. Second job is to convert each of these into ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. How to convert this ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent? First time calculating temporary hardness, amount 12.2 multiply by 100 divided by molecular weight of this calcium bicarbonate. Molecular weight is 162, so 12.2 into 100 divided by 162. That gives you the figure of 7.53 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent. That is your temporary hardness present in water. Similarly, permanent hardness is coming from magnesium sulfate. You take the amount of magnesium sulfate 5.6 multiply by 100 divided by molecular weight of magnesium sulfate. For your convenience, I have given the atomic weight of all the commonly used element: calcium, magnesium, carbon, oxygen, sulfur, hydrogen, chlorine. If you want to calculate the molecular weight of magnesium sulfate, you simply take the atomic weight of magnesium, atomic weight of sulfur, atomic weight of 4 oxygen. After combining everything, you will get the figure of 120. This 120 is the molecular weight of magnesium sulfate, 5.6 is the amount of the salt, and 100 was already present in your formula. So amount into 100 divided by molecular weight of the salt, that will give you the permanent hardness in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. So your temporary hardness is 7.53 and permanent hardness is 4.67. Both are expressed in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent, or you can tell milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent. If you want to know total hardness present in your water sample, simply you add your temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. So 7.53 plus 4.67, which is giving you 12.2 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent. That is the total hardness present in your water sample. I hope now you are very comfortable in how to identify temporary hardness, How to identify permanent hardness? The identification will be coming only from anionic part present in your salt, because the cationic part has to be calcium or magnesium. Anionic part is carbonate or bicarbonate, then it is temporary hardness. Anionic part is something else other than carbonate, bicarbonate, will cause permanent hardness. Then how to convert this in ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent? Take the amount, multiply by 100, divide by molecular weight of that salt which is causing the hardness. That will give you the amount of temporary and permanent hardness in ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. Finally, you add your temporary hardness plus permanent hardness to get total hardness in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent. Now, finally, if I'll ask you one question, in this water sample, if I will boil the water and filter the water properly, how much amount of hardness can be removed? Remember, by boiling and filtration, which hardness can be removed? Temporary hardness. Permanent hardness cannot be removed by simple boiling and filtration. So if I will boil and filter this water sample, the 7.53 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent will be removed because this is temporary hardness. Remaining 4.67 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent will not be removed because that is permanent hardness. So if you boil and filter this water, your temporary hardness will be gone. Only 4.67 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness will be remaining in your water sample. If you want to remove this permanent hardness as well, that needs some complicated chemical treatment method. So I hope this will help you to identify temporary and permanent hardness, as well as this lecture will help you on how to convert temporary and permanent hardness in terms of ppm of calcium carbonate equivalent, and how to calculate total temporary hardness of your water sample, how to calculate total permanent hardness of your sample, how to calculate total hardness present in your sample. Thank you.